Good morning, everyone. My name is Dan Borwick. I'm the Director of Economic Development and Tourism for the County of Northumberland, and I'll act as MC for the course of the morning. I'd like to welcome you all to where the jobs will be in Northumberland. And this is a very, very good day for Northumberland in that the information that we have to present you and the launch of this particular study speaks to the opportunities that exist for both educators, employers, employment agencies, potential employees, and economic development for the county. And so what I'd like to do, just as a minor adjustment to the agenda, is just call on Principal Rob Banjo for a minute.
Thanks. Can you tell I prepared the kids to do that for me? Thanks, everyone. When Dan Borwick came to our school and talked about this initiative, we were really happy about the opportunity to take advantage of it because, I know many of you in the crowd, and as you know, I do work and live in this area. And although the demands are great, the rewards are worth it, especially when it outreaches into the community. And to be able to expose our students to the future with partners from the community, I think is an excellent opportunity. So I want to thank you very much for that. I also want to applaud Dan and the work he's doing to be proactive for the future. So thank you very much for that as well. Other thank yous, Mr. Kitely, he's sort of the teacher in charge of this. And at this school anyways, the culture of leadership is unbelievable. You plant some seeds and people run with opportunities if they're good for kids. So I want to thank Mr. Kitely for taking that on our side. Mr. Taylor and his grade 9 cooking class and tourism and hospitality class for being here. And then Mr. Killorn, who not only is a key ingredient to our student success initiatives, but he's also our technical director and helps out all that too. At St. Mary's, we are being a little bit proactive. We have a specialist high skills major programs. We have 4 of them. And it represents about 39% of our students, which are sort of streamlined in focus trade learning. And compared to schools provincially, we're about 39%, where other schools are about 5 or 10%. So we're really proud of the teacher leads in that program and the supports from community partners. We also have dual credit partnerships with the colleges, and thank you for being here, that again, we hope provides opportunities for students in the future. I do want to thank you again for being here, and in closing, some of the research that we know that helps students succeed is that when they have occupational and academic aspirations. And I can't think of a better way to do that than with these partners. So thank you very much, and welcome to our school.
Thank you very much, and once again, thank you for the opportunity. We'll try and move this along as quickly as possible. Just before we go to the project overview, I just wanted to recognize a couple of different groupings here. The partners who took part in this process include the town of Cobourg, the Municipality of Port Hope, Fleming College, and the Workforce Development Board. They're all represented here today. I'm not going to go through everyone because it'll be a stand-up, sit-down type of event, but thank you very much for the support associated with that. To Sandra Wright and LMI Research. Sandra, I will ask Sandra to stand up only because LMI Research has done a tremendous job of putting all of this together. To the employers that are in the audience, and in particular to the elected officials in the audience, from mayors to councillors to those individuals who are supportive and understanding of the importance of this type of research and the opportunities that exist. So without further ado, if I could call on Paul Van Laren, who is the chair of the Workforce Development Board, to just give us a brief project overview. Thank you, Paul.
Good morning. So just before we get started, my daughters both went to this school and known Rob a long time, so set a little wager that he would get a cheer, and I bet him I could get a better cheer. So can I have a bigger cheer to be Rob? Come on, let's go. Come on. I'll see you at the end of it, Rob. Thank you very much. All right, so good morning, everybody. Today, I'm part of presenting this report, both as the chair of the Workforce Development Board, which probably many of you aren't all that familiar with, but does a lot of work behind the scenes in this kind of work, and as a major employer in the manufacturing sector of Northumberland. So I'm the plant manager for SABIC, which is the old GE Plastics. We've been in the area for 47 years. We hire about 140, 150 people, and we generate about $50 million in sales. Excuse me. So a lot of experience in this field of hiring and attracting workers, and our success is based on exactly that: to hire, train, retain, and ultimately engage our workforce of talented and skilled individuals. And this report really hits the nail on the head in terms of what we require. You know, if you go back 20 years ago, you could come out of high school and get a job in our plant quite readily. Today, you know, we routinely hire people with either extensive work experience, college education, or some kind of post-secondary. And that really is the trend, and it really is the message. In developing a competitive, skilled, and adaptable workforce, one must strive to have a readily available supply of workers with the appropriate skills and education to meet the current and future needs of industry. And meeting the labor market demand of industry is challenging for everyone who's involved in that, from the high school and the college system, universities. And yet the need to do so in a rapidly changing economy has never been greater. And I think most of you probably have personal experience of a change in adjustment in the industry. In addition to this challenge of matching supply and demand, many economists predict that despite the recent recession, it certainly has delayed what we know is coming. We are facing a serious demographic and labor crisis on the horizon. And we've talked about this a long time, and I know with the recession people feel like maybe it's not going to happen, but it is going to happen. It's just been slowed down. In the province of Ontario, the Ministry of Finance data projects the shortfall in the availability of workers in Ontario to reach an estimated almost 2 million by 2031, depending on our level of population growth. And that's a significant number, and that'll have a significant impact on our economy if we can't fix it. And there are three main critical issues that are contributing to this pending shortage of labor. Number one is just an aging population. Mass exodus of baby boomers are going to leave the workforce in the next 10 years. I know I'm experiencing that in my workforce. I know other places are seeing the same thing. See that with OPG, etc. Low birth rate, so not reaching replacement levels, smaller families, later families, and we're seeing more deaths than births, and that's impacting us. And then significantly, there's an emergence of the knowledge economy that I referred to earlier. So proportional labor force requiring post-secondary education will increase. So doing what we did 20 years ago isn't going to work. And without effective action, cooperation, and leadership at the local, provincial, and national levels, we may face a future of large numbers of unskilled workers looking for jobs that require skills that they do not possess, and a large number of jobs that go unfilled. And that is happening today. I mean, if you pay any attention to what's going on in the oil sands, that's the big challenge in those kinds of areas, is they have jobs, there just aren't people in the country that can fill them. So basically you're looking at what's been said before, jobs without people, and then people without jobs. So the focus of this project was to identify projected employment opportunities and skilled occupations in Northumberland County. So very much a local solution, and try to bring everyone together to find a focused way to improve our opportunities in our solution. Because this is not just a personal issue. Obviously people that don't have a job, that's very personal. But as a business, if we can't attract and retain the right people, we can't grow, and that hurts the economy. It just kind of spins in the wrong direction. So it's not just a personal issue, it's very much a business issue. And these skilled occupations that we will talk about today require a college, apprenticeship, or university education. And really across all three, not just one. Projection of these opportunities was done using an evidence-based forecasting model. It's a fancy term for saying we went out and talked to a lot of people and found out what they're really going to do and what they really need us to do to ensure forecasts provided are as accurate as possible. So this isn't just looking at census data, sitting around a table thinking what we want to do. I think there was over 1,000 employers that were 1,000 employers in the county that were interviewed, and direct information sought. So it's very data-based and very accurate as a result. So the purpose of these results is really three things. Number one, the information will assist the youth that are here today and other stakeholders in making informed education and career decisions to ensure they have skills for existing industry and the attraction of new business. Very important. I know a lot of students, my daughters are no exception, weren't really sure what they wanted to do. And quite often, I think if you can paint a picture of, hey, this is the work that's available, this is where I want to live, this is what I need to do, I think that'll help a lot of people make that decision. The results will also inform economic development organizations, educators and trainers, and employment service providers of areas of potential occupational shortages and challenges in the future. And that's the group that can be very creative in helping make sure that not only are the jobs identified and the skills recognized, but that we have a capacity to actually develop those skills and move people into those jobs. And it will also provide support for attracting new Canadians to Northumberland through the identification of job opportunities matching skills to needs. And that's a very important component. So with that, I'd like to turn back to Dan to introduce the Warden of Northumberland County. Thank you.
I'll make a height correction here. It's my pleasure now to introduce the Warden of Northumberland County, Hector McMillan, a strong supporter of our numerous economic development initiatives. Thank you, Mr. Warden.
Well, good morning. And it's great to see so many ambitious, tech-savvy, eager young minds to join us today. You are the workforce of tomorrow, and we're to help you and be your future employer. I'd like to compliment all the partners in this initiative in the approach that they use to gather information. But I've got a couple of questions, and first of all, I'd like to ask the students that are here today, how many of you have already decided what you're going to do for your career? Wow. How many of the non-students have decided what they're going to do for their future career? Only one's decided what they're going to do. Well, I guess I join the rest of you because I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet either. And I guess that's just part of the entrepreneurial curse, that you're never satisfied with what you're doing. There's always something else to do. And someone like me who manages 3 businesses daily, mainly because it's not that we don't know any better, it's just because that's what we do. This project contacted over 1,000 employers, which was a huge undertaking. And it's even a larger job when trying to get those employers to tell us their needs. Because guys like me, we don't have time to sit down with consultants and share or have the desire to share our inner workings. So it was really fabulous that so many of the employers in Northumberland County did partake in this study. And like I said, I'm one of the employers in Northumberland County. And having over 1,000 participate in this initiative is just an indication of how many small businesses there are in Northumberland County. A lot of people, when seeking jobs, are looking for big companies with dozens or hundreds of employees, thinking they'll have a better opportunity to get a job in one of those businesses. But I can tell you, with a small business like I have, that my wife manages for now 21 years, we have never more than 5 people on staff, and last year our sales were in excess of $12 million. So when you look at a business and you look down the main street of a town, you see all the different little businesses, you start counting how many people are in each one of those businesses. There's a lot of people and a lot of strength in our small enterprises that are in our municipalities. Simple grocery stores may have 75, in excess of 100 people working for them. Owner-operators like me, with less than 5 employees, need staff with multiple skills and be able to multitask. And one of those basic skills that we ask, in fact, we only ask really one question when we hire someone, and we hire in excess of 12 students a year, is if they can make change. And about 50% of them cannot make change working in a retail business. It's an important skill to have, a basic skill. Can you count back change to someone if they give you a $10 bill? And we don't hire those people that can't do that. So it's just a simple piece of advice, basic skills. Be able to make change. It's metric, it's easy. research shows that these 559 employment opportunities are projected right here in Northumberland County at a minimum in the next year and a half. 333, or almost 60%, are full-time positions. And another 226, or about 40%, are part-time. And I noticed one of those that struck my interest is that I have 5 trade certificates, and I understand there's some of you here who are in trades. One of them that I was most passionate about was automotive, and I have 2 trade certificates in the automotive and heavy truck and coach divisions, that there's a need for 25 mechanics full-time and 14 part-time. And I can tell you, if you're a good mechanic, you won't be part-time for very long. There's a huge vacuum in the automotive industry looking for skilled workers, especially in diagnostics, which is where I focused my work and research and development, and it led into research and development, was that you didn't have to get dirty and greasy if you were a good diagnostic technician. In excess of 50% of the vehicles that I repaired, I did it from reading and understanding a wiring diagram. I didn't even get my hands dirty. So there are lots of opportunities in the trades in Northumberland, and that's just one of them. There's a huge demand for carpenters as well. But it takes a minimum of 2 years to educate and train people for these positions. And that's a minimum. And those of you that are heading into the trades know that it's more likely 4. And depending on how much education you've got, it could be 5. So the real question is, are you ready to work in Northumberland County? This project is just such a great thing to have. I wished we'd had it decades ago, because now we have an indicator of what our employers in Northumberland County are looking for in employees, and a bigger advantage to the students of today. You can see what the employers of Northumberland County are looking for, and you can focus your directions into their needs. So I really look forward to the next steps as this project moves along, and this is an excellent opportunity for all our educational facilities to determine what's best for our youth that are going to be seeking employment shortly. Thanks very much.
Anyway, if I could ask Wendy Gibson to come up to speak about the guide.
Good morning. I'm Wendy Gibson with the town of Cobourg, and we're very pleased to be a part of this project. And I just wanted to briefly talk a little bit about the guide, which was the actual product of all of the phone calls that were made and the surveys that were done of all the industries. The guide, we're hoping, well, it's called the Where the Jobs Will Be in Northumberland 2013-2015. We have a guidebook. We are not planning on printing a lot of copies of this book. We're hoping that people will go online and find the book electronically. So we don't want to have to waste a lot of paper. It is a large document. But I do want to just run you through a little bit about what the book is about, what the guide contains. And it's meant to be a tool to inform economic development organizations, educators, trainers, and employment service providers of areas of potential occupation shortages and challenges in the future. But the guide lists all of the occupations that were part of the study, including descriptions for each occupation. So in the guide, you're going to find at the front all of the occupations that we looked at and a little bit of a description for each one of them so that you understand what they're about. Listed under each occupation in the table, you'll find a table that will show you the number of jobs that we currently have in Northumberland, as well as the projected jobs, both full and part-time. So it's going to show you full-time jobs, part-time jobs that are projected over the next 18 months in each occupation. So as an example, page 84 of the guide, we just saw the video with regard to some of the woodworking occupations. Carpenters and cabinet makers are listed, and the guide indicates that we're looking for, or that the employers are looking for, 13 positions. So 11 of those, I believe, would be full-time, and the remainder would be part-time. So it gives you a really good indication of the how many jobs there will be in each occupation. And we hope that the students that are looking for career choices or thinking about career choices will use the guide to assist them. And there's also just a one-pager, and we do have copies of it here. I think we've made about 200 copies that you can help yourself to one as you leave. And it actually just lists the top 10 jobs. So it highlights some of the occupations that are hiring the most people. And I think if you just have a quick look at it, you'll see that plumbers are listed here too, which was one of the other occupations that were discussed in the videos. So I just wanted to draw your attention to that, and so please help yourself to the one-pager and go to the websites that are listed if you want to see the full guide. And just I guess the final thing is that we will be updating that information every 18 to 24 months. So we are going to be looking at updating this information again in a couple of years. So I hope that you find it useful, and please don't forget to go ahead and have a look at what information we've provided here today.
Thank you, Wendy. And I can call on Judy Selvig for some final remarks.
Thanks, Dan and Wendy. I'm Judy Selvig, Director of Economic Development and Tourism for the Municipality of Port Hope. Launching the guide is great, but that's just the first step. Now we have identified the immediate opportunities to support both our youth and our unemployed. We will work collectively with our partners to raise awareness of the guide and the 559 opportunities we now have here in Northumberland, new opportunities. Our focus will include facilitating the process to develop access to local training and programs directly linked to our identified opportunities here in Northumberland. Economic development will continue to work collaboratively with our education partners like Fleming College, who is instrumental in this project as well, St. Mary's School, local employers like SABIC, and local training centers and employment agencies. It has to be a collaborative effort in order to accomplish that. It's our hope the community will use the guide as a valuable resource, as we will in economic development, and we will look to update the guide, as Wendy said, every 18 to 24 months. Thank you.
Just a couple of last comments. I understand a bell will go at 9:45. I don't know whether that means we all have to leave or whether we can. All right, so I'll make this quick. Just a couple of days ago, a number of us attended a round table with MP Norlock discussing the Canada Jobs Grant Program, which creates funding in terms of both federal support and I see Rob Milligan in our audience here, provincial support, as well as employer contribution to a fund to a maximum of about $15,000 per individual who is looking to go to upgrade, acquire skilled trades, etc. A tremendous program, a tremendous opportunity. I don't think it could come at a better time in relationship to the information that we've released today. So just to conclude, as you can see from the diagram, this is a cooperative effort. It is about educators, employees, employers, economic development agencies, employment agencies, all acting in a way that contributes to the betterment of Northumberland.